this moment when you are hoping that there's no policeman who is watching your video. I'm just hoping that, because today I'm going to steal an idea. I have this beautiful paper here that just came out of my printer. It feels a little bit warm because it just ran out of my printer. This is the brand new digital printable paper pack from 49 Dragonflies shop. It's called You Belong Among the Wildflowers. Only this name is just so beautiful, and this paper is just amazing. And as a design team project for Barbara, who is 49 Dragonflies, I would like to create a mini journal today. I am hoping that you would like to do this with me and craft along with me, perhaps. And for this, I'm stealing Barbara's idea because I would like to create something really, really similar that she has done in one of her last videos as a design team project for the Digital Collage Club. And I thought this journal is so cute and I want to try that by myself. I will, of course, link the video where I have found my inspiration, so Barbara's video, down below in the description box. And I will also link these pages and everything else that I will use from her shop today for this project. I would like to try to bring my own style to her idea. I would like to bring some grunge to this journal with some techniques. And if you could see what is there, I think I don't have to say anything. I mean, if you know my channel, you know what this is, and you know that this tool means we will have a lot of grunge in this project. And yeah, so this is a little bit a challenge for me, because I always wanted to make a grungy mini journal. But I haven't made so many mini journals in the past. And here's my ephemera. This is the lid of my paperclip box. And as you can see, this is really small. I have managed to cut all of these ephemera pieces out, but it took me a really long time because fuzzy cutting in this small scale for me is a real challenge. But I think these things are so cute when they are a little bit smaller than normal. So I will tell you later how I printed that out so that you can do that for your own journals as well if you want to turn a normal printable into a mini journal. I will tell you how you can do that, and I will show you how I bring this journal together. And I'm hoping, of course, no policeman here today. So, Barbara, thank you very much for that idea. I'm so looking forward to do this because this is so wonderful. This paper is so cool. That brings so much energy to me. All of these tiny details and especially these vibrant colors that you have included into this journal. This is so into this paper. I already see the journal. Into this paper. That is so cool. She has combined those vintage things. I mean, the background is really kind of vintage with those modern things. Some of these flowers look really vintage to me. But then there are those golden elements, for example, or these really vibrant green butterflies. The butterfly itself is vintage, but the color is really bam, and I really, really like that. Okay, so let's first talk about the prints of these main pages, of these background. I think Barbara is calling them background pages. So this is an A4 sheet of paper, and I have printed these on the full scale here to this A4 sheet. That means that you normally, if you would do a normal, regular sized junk journal in DIN A5, you could take this and just fold that in half and you would have your junk journal page. So that means this is the original size of the page. If you have US letter sized paper, of course, that would be the same. That would be a little bit different in the proportions, but it would be the same. Print that full scale and then if you want to make a normal journal, you can fold that in half and you would have your page. For the ephemera, you can see that is really, really small. I have printed 4 of the ephemera pages that have the same size to 1 sheet. So that means I had 1 sheet here, 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. And then I have printed that out and cut that out. And then we have this scale. And we need this small scale because I want to fold these papers here a little bit differently than you would expect it, perhaps. I will not fold them only in half, but I would like to do something different with them. Okay, so let's start folding the first page. For that, I'm taking this paper here and I'm doing that exactly the same like Barbara did it. So I'm just folding this in half like this. And she said we have to make sure that this is lined up really, really well. So I think I will take a bone folder to make sure that I can fold this really good. Then we have to open that, turn it around, and then fold it in half in the other direction. Also making sure that the edges are lined up really, really well. Like this. Then we have to open it up again. Then we have here this little cross. Then we take it this way, take this shorter edge, fold that to the middle. Ooh, line that up really exactly. Here the problem is starting already, Louise. Do you realize that? Yes. Turn that around. Take the other short edge and fold that to the middle as well. Not so easy. That's the reason why I'm not a card maker. Or one of the reasons. One of 100 reasons. Like this. Then we can open that up and then you can see we have now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these little areas here. Then we are folding that like this. So here's now the open side of the paper so that we have it like that. And then we are taking some scissors and now we are cutting here where the paper is closed. So here's the open side and here's the fold where it is closed. We are taking this middle line and cutting exactly until we meet the next line here, so that it looks like this. Then we are going to open this up. Then we have this little slot here in the middle. Then you can just take it and put your fingers in here, fold it like this, put it to your table, and then just bring your hands together so that this goes open. And then you can just bring that together like this. And then you have a cute little kind of booklet signature thingy. And I've just learned from Barbara's channel that this is not a sign. She has originally called that a sign, and I'm not sure if that is actually the right pronouncing. I have also heard the word zine because of magazine. Some people say this word zine or zine. What this is the short version of magazine. And many people, especially in the art journaling community, call this a zine or a zine. And Barbara has told us that that is not correct. And for me, that was really clear what she said there. She showed us a little article from Wikipedia where it says that this is actually not a zine. But we will call this a signature today because that's what it is for my mini journal. And as you can see, we have here now some of these pages that are upside down. But I have planned that exactly like this, and I will tell you why. I thought it would be really cool to have a challenge when you open your signature, that you have only parts of the images here. So here you can see you have only this part on this page from the whole page, and it is upside down. But why not using that as a challenge? I mean, here there's the other part of this here, obviously, and that is in the right direction. We can journal here or decorate this, but some of the things will be upside down, and I want to use that as a challenge for myself to, yeah, to have more fun with my mini journal. So I will make more of these here in exactly the same way out of the other background pages, and then I will show you how that looks, so that we have several of these signatures here. Okay, so here we go. I have made 5 of these little signatures in total, with one and the same technique that I have shown you before. Next, we are going to take some random papers from our stash. That can be any kind of book page or any kind of scrap that you have. So you can use that. You can use also some handmade paper or something that has a texture. This is also some packaging paper that I have used to protect something similar like I have on my desk here. You can use anything that you have. So I've just grabbed some random things, and then we are taking our signatures, and you can see that here is this opening. So you have, when you have the signature closed and you open the first page, for example, then you have this opening here. When you go to the next page, then you have the opening on the top, on the and on the bottom, of course. On the next page, there's the opening also here and on the top, and so on. And we are going to take some scraps of the papers, and we are just gluing them inside here so that they peek out a little bit. So for that, I'm just taking this, and of course now you can look at the colors of the paper here, so that you perhaps find some things that you want to stick in here that match the colors that we have here. So is there any purple somewhere? I think there's this pink, but ooh, here, look at this. With this green, the purple would work really, really well. So I'm just taking that, and I'm just taking a little piece of that, and that doesn't have to be the same size like the pages. Yeah, we only want to have this peeking out here a little bit. So I'm just looking how that could look good. Put that in here, for example, like this, and then I'm just taking a glue stick. In the next step, I will go to my sewing machine, so I can use the glue stick that will hold enough for what I want to do here. So I want to make sure that this stays in place until I go to my sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine or you don't want to sew, then make sure that you use some gel medium for gluing or another really strong glue, because what we want to do would not work so well with only the glue stick and without sewing. So now this looks like this, and this peeks out here a little bit. Of course, you can also say I want to have, for example, ooh, really fragile, sorry, this edge of the book page in here. Just open that like this. And then you could also take another piece that you have there, chosen from your stash, and then you could just bring that in there as a second layer, like this, for example. For that, just open it a little bit, put some glue there, put the other piece on top, make sure that it peeks out as much as you want it, and then just close that. If that is too much what's peeking out, if you realize that later, you can always tear that off. But if this is too much inside, of course you have no chance to bring it out later when it's glued here. So make sure that you have enough that is peeking out here. And with this method, I will go on through my whole signatures here, and I will put some of these little scraps inside here, glue them all in these little openings here, and then I will show you how to go on. I'm taking this, and now I'm trying to find, yeah, some position where I can place it to my table. Of course, this will crumble up a little bit, but that's not the problem, because we are going to bring some grunge now to these signatures with the help of a hammer. Alternatively, you could also use a bone folder, some scissors, but take scissors that are heavier than this one here, or you could also use a ruler for that. I have shown you a video that's not so long ago. I will link that down below for you in the description box as well, where I have done this technique with a DIN A5 journal, so DIN A5 signatures, not such a small scale and in a little bit different way, but I have, yeah, grunged up the edges of those signatures in a really similar way, like I'm doing that here. So if you want to check that out, the link is down below in the description box. Okay, so next I'm going to take the hammer, and then I'm giving this a little massage. And it's also really helpful to take different tools. So this bone folder, of course, has a way smaller surface here than the hammer has here. So that means with this tool you can get more, yeah, smaller, detailed damages into your paper. If you don't have a bone folder, you could also take the other side of the hammer, of course. Okay, so, whoo, oh my goodness, I've destroyed, ooh, grunge. That's totally fine. Ooh, I love it. Let's make it a little bit bigger. That's art. Okay, so for the next step, it's helpful, not necessary, but I guess really helpful to have a clamp to clamp this together. Then I'm taking a book so that this is laying not on my table, but a little bit in the air, so that I have the distance of the book between my project and the desk, because now I want to spritz water, and to reach the pages that are here, it's really helpful that we have a little distance to the table. And I'm really irritated at the moment because of these little antennas here. Look at this. What the heck is that? Can you see that? Oh my goodness, that's so funny. They have this here as well. Can we... Is that loose or... I don't know. I hope we can reach that this stays there. I think that comes from this handmade paper, and this is really cool. I hope that we can rescue that until the end, because that looks really cool. That brings me to another really great idea. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I haven't thought about that before I started the video, but now I'm thinking about something. Oof. I just have to grab something so that I don't forget that, because I know that I have to stop the video in a few minutes because I have to go to a meeting, and I've just placed my idea here so that I won't forget it when I start the video again. But oh my goodness, let's go on. So we have that, we place that here. You could also take a small thing like this, for example, and put that here and place this on top so that you can reach. Oh, that's actually not so bad, isn't it? But I don't want to get that wet. And that's not so good. I don't want to get that wet. But what about this? Yeah, that's even better. So something that you can have that you don't have to touch it, and that it's a little bit away from your table so that you can reach the bottom of the book as well. So next we are going to need some water in a spray bottle. Then I have here some coffee. Of course, you can use any other brown color or any other kind of color. I mean, you can use blue or green or whatever you want. I like brown because grunge for me is always something like brown. What you also could do is you could take an old ink pad. So that is what I have done here. I had a vintage photo Distress Oxide ink pad. Ooh, let me show you. This one here, actually not this one, but the same, like this. And that was broken here. So that was so old, and I have used it so often that the felt here on top had some damages. So I have just taken this off because, of course, here was ink inside. And I have taken that off. And then I have put that into some water and just left it there. And then you end up with something like this. And you can see the ink pad is still in there. So I will not touch it because I will stain my fingers. But can you see this little thing there? That is the ink pad. And I don't know why I have not taken it out, but this is a really cool color. I mean, vintage photo is always a cool color that we can also use. What I'm trying to say is if you have old ink pads that you can't use for stamping or something like that, don't throw them away. Just tear off this little felt pad and then put that in some water. And this is in my craft room for months. So it will stay good very, very long. So it smells like ink and not like mud or something like that. I don't know the word. You know, it will stay intact for a very long time. And this glass, I think that will last forever, because when I want to spritz something, then I put my paintbrush in here and use that. Or you can also put your whole project in here, and this is really, really much what you can get out of an old ink pad. Of course, you can also use your ink pads themselves, or your refillers, your sprays, or whatever you have. You could also use some children's watercolor, crayons, or whatever. You will see in a second that everything that you have, like mediums, is possible to use here. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm spritzing some water here, relatively much water. So then I'm going to take a paintbrush. Let's start with the coffee. So now I'm playing around here a little bit, and I'm just throwing this to the pages, and I'm just realizing if you have a bowl here underneath the journal, then it is really helpful. I'm just realizing that because now when it comes to your desk, it will not be everywhere. The mess will not be so big. Okay, so let's bring in another color. So I'm taking the same paintbrush, but this time I'm taking this vintage photo ink and just doing the same thing. I'm just stirring that a little bit around so that I get this oxide pigment of the ink, because that is on the very bottom of the jar, of course. Okay, so now I'm taking my heat gun and I will quickly dry this whole thing by blowing into these pages here like this. And I'm trying to, dry everything so that I, after that, can go to my sewing machine and sew around all of the single pages. So I will show you that when it's dry and when I have sewn around. Okay, so here we go. This is all dry and I have sewn around here with my sewing machine, as you can see, so that we have this cute little, yeah, can we already call it a journal? I think not. But we have all of these signatures now here. And as you perhaps can see, several different things. So first of all, I have sewn around every single page so that we get a little frame around each page. I think that looks really, really cute, especially with this uncontrollable distressing that we got here on the pages. I think that turned out really, really cool with the coffee and the ink. And that turned out so differently on every page. Look here, for example, it's really symmetric here in the middle of these pages here. And I really, really love how that turned out. And to get this a little bit more, I can't say calm, because this is a really wild project, I would say. I mean, we have wildflowers. It's a wild project. But to calm that down a little bit and to make those pages more clear, I have sewn around here to give them this frame. And while I have sewn, I have taken my paper scraps that were a little bit longer. They've just folded them over so that I can sew over them, so that we have some page decoration here and there on the edge of the pages as well. And as you can see here, I have stapled these little guys here. That was the idea that I had when I saw this. Where is it now? Here on this signature. When I saw this here, that I have shown you before from this handmade paper, I was sure that I wanted to include something like this. And then I came to the idea to use these little, yeah, I use them as butterfly antennas. When I stamp butterflies or I have fuzzy cut butterflies, then I like to use those instead of fuzzy cutting the antennas of the stamp or the fuzzy cut image, the actual image. And this looks so cute. I mean, I have just stapled them there. That worked better than sewing them. If you want to sew them, then you have to make sure that you, let me show you here, that you do it like this, so that the stitching can really grab this antenna. If you would put them like this, then you could move them around. They can't fall off from the page because they have these little thicker ends. And, excuse me, please. I guess that wouldn't fall off, but it's way better and way more easy when you just staple them. And if you don't like staples, you can also always glue something on top, a little tiny embellishment or something like that. Then I did a really great job on messing up this signature. As you perhaps can see, these are only four left, because the fifth signature I have messed up a little bit with my stitching. I have accidentally stitched too far to this middle fold, and when I realized that, I mean, here you can't see it, but here on the front page I realized that this was a little bit, yeah, you couldn't flip it open. You can see that here it's a little bit strange, and when I tried to remove the thread, the paper has torn here. Normally when the stitching goes straight to the bottom, with all of these, that didn't happen, of course, but here, yeah, I don't know where my brain was at this moment. I'm a little bit sad because I think this is actually my favorite flower from this whole printable. And these colors here look so cool. The distressing here went so symmetrical as well. And I'm a little bit sad, but I can't put that into the journal. But I think there are several options to even use such a fail. Because, yeah, I don't want to put that into the journal, of course. I've torn it here, and I guess there are several different possibilities how we can use that. We will try that out later. Next, we are going to need a cover for this, of course, so that we can turn this into a real journal. Until now, it's a little bit strange. So we are going to need a cover, of course. And for that, I want to use this broken book cover here. As you can see, we have the front cover here, but the back cover is missing. I have used the back cover as a material for something else, I don't know. And I had this in my stash, and I thought the colors would fit really, really well to this paper. And I would like to, upcycle this and make this work. For this video, that would be way too long to show you how I will make this. So I've decided that I want to make a second video where I show you only that, how to turn something like this into a book cover that you can use for your journal. So there will be a second video that will come on Saturday, I guess. So if you're watching this video right after it was uploaded, then you have to wait a few days. But I think it's worth it because I guess that many of you have something like this and don't know how to use that, and this is in your stash forever. So watch my next video if you want to see how I make that. So I will just stop this video here now, make that, then I will sew the signatures in, and then we will go on with decorating this journal here. So here I'm back with my cover. My signatures are all sewn in here now. That was a little bit like magic, I would say. So this is my cute little journal now. And now, of course, I want to decorate the pages. And I'm already really, really curious how that will go with the pages that are upside down. For example, like this one here, I'm really excited how this experience will be to decorate that, in the wrong direction. And I would like to try out some different things and find out how I can manage that so that you think that the page that is upside down actually has to be exactly like that. And that's what I want to do now. And for that, I'm using this tiny ephemera that I have printed out in this tiny scale, as I said in the beginning of the video. So this is the ephemera pack from 49 Dragonflies shop. I will link that down below for you as well. This is the matching ephemera to the background pages that she has. And so I will do that. And in the end of this video, I will give you a quick flip through of the finished journal, of course. Whew, I think I'm done. So here we go. This is my mini journal, and I think I'm finished. You can never know if a journal is finished, right? So yeah, so here we go for the final flip through. And of course, I hope you like this. I'm really in love with how this turned out, and I think I've found out some really cool things while I have decorated this. So there came some ideas to my mind that I haven't had before, and I think this, yeah, I don't want to call it a problem. I mean, I have done it because I wanted to do that these things are upside down, these pages, or some of the pages. As you can see here, this, for example, is one of the pages that was upside down because of the folding of the signatures. But with this little tuck spot here, I think it looks like it has to be exactly like this. I mean, who knows that this was meant to be the other way around. So I've added all of Barbara's ephemera here, and I've also added some tiny things from my stash, mainly tickets and some postage stamps. And I've also found out that I can include things like this here. So as you can see, I've made this little slot here, and that doesn't go to the other page. Because of the folding of the pages, we have always a double layer of paper on each page. So I've carefully taken my scissors, and then I've made this little slot here so that I now can put this in here. And I have put this little fabric here. I've just stapled that so that this little card can't go too far into this pocket, because this fabric stops it here on this little slot. I've done that in several areas, and I came to the idea with this little thing here. So here was this little area where I accidentally teared the paper. Ooh, what is that? That doesn't belong here. Ooh, that drives me crazy. This is a little piece of the die cut that doesn't came out, and I haven't realized that. Okay, so this little area brought me to the idea of this pocket making. This was this little piece that I've accidentally torn when I made this thing here. And now, look, I can use that to put tiny things in there. And I think that is really, really cute. I've used some Tim Holtz die cuts and also stamps. So these butterflies and also the wildflowers are by Tim Holtz, and also the stamps that I have used here and there. Here I made a little tuck spot where I can put these little things in. This comes from Barbara's ephemera pack. Ooh, this little ticket. This is just a postage stamp and a little ticket from my stash. And I think such a journal is really cute to collect some tiny things like tickets or postage stamps or something like that. And I can always make more slots into the pages. So as you can see here, for example, I have no decoration here yet, because I thought this collage here with the butterfly is, for this double page at the moment, enough for me. But later on I can always cut in here and put something in here. When you close the journal, you can see there's relatively much space here, so it can grow a little bit. It's not too thick at the moment, and I really like this idea of having the possibility to cut the pages and just make more room for ephemera. So these little tickets also come from Barbara's ephemera pack. This originally was something different, and I've turned it into this ticket shape. So it was, this is not a shape that you get in the ephemera pack, but you can see you can very easily turn that into such a ticket. Just cut it, and then I've taken such a hole punch and just punched the holes there. This is relatively big for this pocket, but it works. yeah, so this is a die cut by Tim Holtz as well. This was what you can see here in the background. That is relatively old. I don't know if it's still available. I got that on an online flea market. And this little round element here that also comes from Barbara's Ephemera pack, you can use that as a little tuck spot as well. So here I have not glued it completely so that I can, of course not such a big thing, but I can tuck something behind here. And here I've also tried to, yeah, include this thing that is upside down into the page design. So here's this little guy here in the background, and I've just taken this little image here and I've glued that. Here on the bottom you can see this little dragonfly. That's also a piece from the Ephemera pack that I've just cut off, so that this area looks not so upside down anymore. And here I've also made this little trick. I've just cut along this line here that was the same line like here, and now I can just put these little things here inside. And I have the feeling that here a paper clip is missing. Oh my goodness, can't talk. I think I want to add a paper clip here. That looks way more interesting, and of course we could also use that to clip the ticket here. Like this. Yeah, I think now it's good. So here I've made this little collaged pocket. So this piece is loose and the other pieces are glued down. I wanted to try something different. So here I have cut through the whole page. So I mean through both layers of the paper. The cut goes here and here. And it goes also, yeah, here and here. So that means if everything would be loose, then you could see through the pages. And I didn't want that, so I've glued this here so that it is closed again. And now I can put this in here and, of course, some more things if I want. Here there's also this little pocket, and that's also hidden. It's nothing on the back side in that area, so that I can put this ticket in here. I have the same kind of ticket here, again secured with this little piece of fabric so that it can't go too far into this, oh, excuse me please, into this little slot. And I really like that. This is, I think, a really cute addition to this design in the background. Here the same, I've just taken this little piece of paper and then I have stamped the 5, and now I can't bring it back. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to bring it back, but yeah, you need a little bit of patience. Here a little collage with a butterfly die cut, and I really love these little buttons here. This journal is really, really cool because there is so much space in between. Can you see that? You can see my desk through the signatures. So that means you can add really dimensional things like buttons and that stuff. And it's absolutely no problem when you have these things in between of the layers of the pages, because it's, yeah, enough room when you don't have too much pages in the signature. And yeah, I really like that. Oh, what is that? What is that? Yeah, you have to live with those things when you make a grungy journal. This is from my stash. This is just a little postcard print. And this ticket also comes from my stash. This little guy here is from Barbara's Ephemera pack. I've just turned that into a little belly band, as you can see here. Here we have another tag that I've just stamped, and then you can put that in here. And here I've tried to include something in between of those pages. I think, yeah, I'm not so 100% happy with this solution. I wanted to try that out. I think it would have been better to use some tape to tape that here. Then you could flip that way more easily. This is a little bit, you know, can you see that? That was perhaps not such a good idea. I mean, it's a cute embellishment, but to flip that and to write something here, it's perhaps not such a good idea. So here are 2 other pieces from Barbara's Ephemera pack in this little tuck spot that also comes in her Ephemera pack. Some tickets from my stash, and I've tried to catch the colors that Barbara has in her paper. So this pink here in the background, I've tried to get that here with this ticket, or with this little, that is not a ticket, you know. And here, I think, yeah, this is the black and white page of this journal. So there's not so much color, but I wanted to have that relatively neutral because of this little quote that is upside down. I wanted to have that really calm so that you can see this here and realize that it is upside down. And of course you could always take the journal here and journal in this direction here on that page. I mean, why not? You could use this as a caption and then journal here. And when you go through the journal, you can see your journaling, but you can't read it at the first glance. And I think that is not the baddest thing. I mean, why not turning the journal upside down? So I really realized during my decoration process here that it is not too bad to have things upside down. I mean, who says that we can't do that? And first I thought I have to find a solution for every of these pages. So this is one, for example, as well. And when I have glued this little tuck spot here, I thought, okay, it looks like it has to be like this, but here it's still upside down. But why not? I mean, why not? Why not? Where's the problem? And then I realized that there is no problem. And then I thought, okay, you can see that it is upside down, and that's okay. And I think that's also a thing, yeah, that is something that you can learn during such a journal making process. Also this year, I first wanted to cover that up, but why shall I cover that up? I mean, you can see that it is not a full sentence and that it is upside down. Where's the problem? I mean, yeah, so so this is the back side. And yeah, so that's it. I hope you like this, and of course I'm hoping that you like Barbara's paper as much as I do. And if you want to check that out, please check out the info box. The links are all there. And there's also a discount code. If you want to go shopping in Barbara's shop, you can get 10% discount with the code that you can find down below this video. So have a very great day and see you the next time. Bye bye.